COVID. I don't have no COVID. I don't have no COVID. So I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. I am super happy. I'm happy I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. Okay, that's it. No, guys, I'm very, very happy. I finally got my news back saying that my results were negative and I am A-okay. So what does that mean? It means that I should probably understand what actually did happen to me. And I think that's probably going to be my next step. But also, I should probably think about it from what logically happened. And potentially what logically happened was I might have potentially had an anxiety attack. And that's something that is very real that we really don't get to talk about that much in I will just go ahead and say it, in the Black and brown community. That's something that really doesn't get talked about that often is your mental health and your anxiety. So I think that's what I want to tackle today. It's going to be something I'm not really as comfortable talking about, but at the same time, I think it's something that's very necessary for us to kind of get across as the importance of mental health, what you could do to be taking care of it, things that you can do to help yourself, or at least what I'm doing. My person, because I'm definitely not a therapist. I don't have any type of background in psychology or something like that. So for me, how I'm going to attack this, because what the facts are is that, one, I did pass out. Well, not pass out, but I fell twice from feeling super dizzy and my chest feeling super tight. And if I don't have COVID, because I was showing signs of COVID, if I don't have COVID, I'm assuming because my doctor's visit the week prior actually came back, with flying colors. I was healthy as all could be. So obviously there's something going on, and that's something that I need to address, and I need to figure out what's going on with myself internally. And I need to address my anxiety, and maybe I do have anxiety and I'm just not addressing it how I should be. So that is something that I have to look into and understand, and obviously dive into a little bit more so I can understand. So let's look into that a little bit and see what comes from it. All right, thanks. So what is anxiety and what does it mean to you? Anxiety is when you have a nervousness or an unsettling feeling within you about something that's coming up or something that's imminent. Now, where I sometimes feel like there's a debate on that is where it's real or not. And I think those can kind of dive into other issues. But for me, like if it's something that's coming up that's imminent, like you get anxiety about the test that's coming up or a big project at work, those are real things that are coming up and they're imminent. Yet you get super anxious about it and stuff like that. Where I have sometimes people give me their example, it's like sometimes the thing doesn't even have to be real. It's I'm so anxious of what's this person thinking about me when that person's not even thinking about you at all. It's like little things like that. So that's kind of what, in a nutshell, kind of my version of what anxiety means. But at the same time, how did that affect me? How did I get to a point to where I literally felt like I couldn't breathe and I couldn't walk and I was showing similar symptoms to COVID-19? I honestly believe that I am actually worried about what's going on in the world. And, sometimes we do try to put on our blinders and we're like, I have to focus on work. I have to focus on my family. And I got to be strong for this. But we are living in a crazy time right now. 2020 has been no joke. It's rivaled with some of the worst years in recorded history. We've had fires. We've had Kobe's death, R.I.P. Kobe. We've had the pandemic. We've had America's mishandling of the pandemic. It's so many different layers to what's going on, to where it's starting to finally take its toll with me, I think. And I think that's me being honest with myself. The fact that I just can't go outside how I would freely want to with my daughter or by myself and go just adventure, because I live in New York City and there's no better city to just go exploring and learning something new than this great city. But with a pandemic and how crowded this city is, this is probably one of the worst places to ever go out during a pandemic, because we're living on top of each other. So now I barely go out for any reasons except for to get food. And sometimes that could be a little bit stressful, on my mental. So I definitely believe that what got to me was the fact that I'm trying to take care of my family, and make sure that my wife has her mental stability, make sure my daughter is getting the closest thing to a 3-year-old experience that she should be getting while being stuck in a house. And so a lot of that got to me, and it's one of those, and for me being the leader of the household, it's something that as a black male that we are usually not able to talk about freely without being told to kind of hush our mouths or be a man and just toughen up. Like, it's one of those topics that it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I'm going to do me. And at the end of the day, I have a wife who loves and supports me, and that's why she's my wife, because I can be vulnerable with her. And I think I just wasn't doing that. I think I just was kind of keeping everything to myself, dealing with bills, dealing with the pandemic, dealing with making sure that everything's taken care of, making sure and ensuring that I keep my job, because we have to have bills. You have to have the money to pay for everything that we do, because right now so many people are unemployed, and I feel so bad for them. And it's one of those things that I just personally won't allow for my family to go through, but I can't control everything. So I think a lot of that was really just building up inside of me, and kind of like ultra frustrating, that I did take it upon myself to just keep it within me without expressing it to anyone or talking to anyone about it. So that was pretty frustrating, and I know that's probably something that got to me deep down internally, which probably caused a panic/anxiety attack that allowed me to believe that I was like in dire straits. So what am I going to do about it? That's been kind of my $1 million question I've been trying to figure out. And I'm sorry, something's in my throat there. Ooh. That's the $1 million question that I'm trying to figure out. Like, what's my next step? What am I going to do about that? And my father-in-law kind of gave me the first big thing that was really helpful to me so far that I've been using for the last couple of days, and that's Headspace. Headspace has been an app that I've kind of tried off and on in terms of meditation. But it's definitely been a very helpful app for me to kind of just really get inside of myself and really focus on my breathing and focus on my thoughts, and trimming all of my thoughts down to where I just have one singular thought or no thoughts. I haven't got to the point where I've had no thoughts, but Headspace has been really like thorough in guiding me to a point to where I'm calmer and I'm a little bit more relaxed, and I do just feel like I'm ready to take on the day without internally putting it all in a little bottle and then attacking the day. I'm ready to attack the day in the appropriate manner. I'm ready to attack the day in a sense like, Josh, you got this. You're calm now. Let's go about it. As opposed to the pandemic. Let's do it. Let's go frantically doing it. No. Calm down. We're good now. We're good. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of making sure that my mental stability, and something that I'm using to kind of really help me. Headspace is, by the way, guys, not sponsored. I'm not even big enough to be sponsored by any type of app or anything like that. I have no preference. It was literally the app that my father-in-law suggested to me. So at the same time, I'm using it, and it actually has been beneficial. Prayer, as a Christian, is something that is also very helpful to me as well. And I just think that meditation is just like a form of prayer, to where I just essentially am saying a singular prayer to myself, and I'm trying to get it to where work doesn't pop up. That, did I grab clothes for my daughter? Did I get food? Do I do it? Like, no. It's just, what's that one single mantra prayer thing going through my head that's going to keep me calm and steady for the rest of my day. That is something that is super important for me to try to keep on par with myself, and to make sure that I don't have what just happened to me happen again. Because I'll be honest, my wife was freaked out. My daughter didn't know what was going on. I was panicking because I literally felt like I could not move. I could not breathe. Things were turning black. And I'm like, holy crap, if this is the Rona, then shoot, like wow. But it wasn't. It definitely, I believe, was anxiety, and something that will be addressed. And I'll probably talk to my doctor as well. I need to set an appointment just to kind of let her know what happened. But I think that for you guys out there who are taking on the world, let's say you're the single mother who is literally taking care of, your kids, or that you are a married couple and you guys just have a lot of bills and stuff that are piling up, take the time to talk about how you're feeling about those things. If you don't do that, it will build up internally inside of you. We have to be a people, a society that is okay with being vulnerable with each other. So far, it just seems like everybody has to just already have it figured out. We no longer, I keep harping on this message, and I think this is kind of the common theme of what I'm trying to do and get out there, is that we should always be learning. We should always make sure that we are learning about ourselves, loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves, and really, and also being vulnerable with the people that we love. So my wife, my cousins, my close friends, those are the people that I would feel, and I want to feel comfortable opening up to, being myself with. And I need to make that happen more. I try to be this big, larger than life figure that just has everything figured out, when I don't. I'm not the model example of what you should be doing in life. I'm a person trying to figure that out. I am 33 years old, but yes, I'm trying to figure out what it is in life that is going to have me being at my most cool, calm, and collected, at the same time most ambitious, and at the same time most family oriented. So that's my little trifecta of things that I'm trying to make sure that I have figured out for myself, and that I don't put so much pressure on what I'm doing. So that's kind of my little tidbit for today. What I would like for you guys to take from this is that anxiety is something that you don't want to play around with. Your mental health in general. If you have things going on up there that you just don't feel like are normal, talk to someone you're close to. If you don't feel comfortable about that, then reach out to someone. Reach out for therapy. Figure out if your insurance can help you get a free session. There's a lot of apps out there that could potentially help you with that. Just because you taking care of you is the most important thing, and you don't have all the answers. And it's important for you to understand that you don't have all the answers. And once you finally get that through to yourself, that I cannot figure everything out on my own, I think that's the first step for you to getting to a point of feeling calmer about your life, about understanding who you are and what you want, and then really focusing on what's bothering you up there that you maybe be pushing down deep down in a little hole. So yeah, hopefully this message was quick. Hopefully that it was positive. Hopefully it's something that you can take in terms of, you can utilize it in terms of your own day and what you're doing with your own life. Remember, this is a fitness channel, but I don't think you guys are when it comes to fitness, this all encompasses within it. Fitness doesn't just mean pushing things up and picking things up and putting them down and then just eating right. It also means taking care of your mental health, taking care of those around you. It's being fit all the way throughout in your entire life. So that's hopefully what I'm going to be bringing to you guys. Thank you so much for your time. This has been a wonderful experience so far. I'm loving putting these videos out for you guys. The feedback has been instrumental. So whatever I can do to keep pushing it out there, to keep helping you guys get closer and closer to what you're trying to accomplish, the greatly I appreciate it. So take the time, hit that like button, subscribe if you want. It helps me out, but at the same time, as long as you pulled something from this message, that's all that matters too. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.